Hey, what's going on? This is Eno. Welcome to this video. I apologize ahead of time for the lo-fi dark video going on here, but I only had a few moments and I had kind of a quick little idea for a video, and so I decided to save some time by not going through the rigmarole, setting up the lights and the tripod and the camera and all that kind of jazz, and just flipped on the old webcam here and decided to make a quick little video. So I apologize for its lo-fi nature. But it was a little topic that I just kind of quickly came up with, and I didn't want the idea to escape me. We have a gun show coming up this weekend, and I wanted to share with you kind of a few tips for shopping at gun shows. If you've never gone, or you're just kind of coming across gun shows for the first time, expanding your collection of firearms, and want to use gun shows as a good source of weapons, which they are. The cool thing about gun shows are they typically will expose you to types of weapons, brands, and also vintage of weapons that you typically don't see in your average retail stores. For instance, some of the guns that you see on the wall behind me, the 1846 Harper's Ferry up there, I actually bought from a friend of mine, but the Mosin Nagant and the Enfield that you see, you might remember for some previous videos. I just got those at the last gun show, which was about 2 or 3 months ago. I just noticed this. I was looking at the screen there, and this just kind of caught my eye. This is my pair of Converse, that we call rapid response boots. I just pulled those out of the box new about a week or so ago. Great boots, by the way. I've been really enjoying wearing them, but I just kind of noticed that one of them looks like it's levitating. That's so cool. I don't even know how it's doing that, but anyway, sorry, little tangent. Just noticed that, got me funny. So yeah, you can typically get things at gun shows that you typically can't get at your local retail stores, retail gun stores anyway. Now, in the state that I live in, which is the state of Wisconsin, and I can really only speak intelligently about the state that I live in because I haven't gone to gun shows in a lot of other states. In fact, I don't think I've gone to gun shows in any other states except for the one I live in. But in the state of Wisconsin, the laws that govern a federal firearms licensed dealer in their store also govern them at a gun show. So if you have dealers, which most of the people you run into at gun shows around here at least are dealers, whatever laws they have to abide by in their stores, they have to abide by at the gun show. So, for instance, here you have to pass a background check, which you also would have to do, regardless of whether you bought a rifle or a shotgun or whatever. In the store, you have to do it at the gun show too. They do it by a phone, so it's relatively quickly. You have to fill out the form. They call it in. Usually within about 5 or 10 minutes, you have your response, and you pay your money, and you're out the door with your new gun. A handgun here in the state of Wisconsin requires a 2-day waiting period. And that is also true with a gun show. So if you buy a gun at a gun show, you have to wait that 2-day waiting period here in the state of Wisconsin. I do know that other states do operate on that same principle, that if you do have a waiting period, you have to have the waiting period at the gun show too. That's if you buy from dealers. If you buy from private individuals selling their guns at a gun show, background checks and waiting periods do not apply. So you can buy your gun as a private purchase, transaction the money there, and walk with the gun right there. At gun shows, you would typically run into both. Around here, I typically find that you'll run into more dealers, less individuals, but there is a fairly good mix of both. A couple of tips that I give people when they go to gun shows to buy things is, number one is come cash heavy. Number one is you never know what you're going to see at a gun show, and you want to be ready to buy. Number two is you're going to get a better deal if you're holding green in your hand than a piece of plastic. Most of the dealers will take credit cards, but some of the dealers won't. The vast majority of the private purchase people, the people just privately there selling their own things, are not going to accept credit cards because they're not businesses, they're just individuals selling stuff at a gun show. So they require you to do in cash. So carry cash and come cash heavy. Obviously, if you expect to buy yourself an AR-15 at a gun show, typically AR-15s are, $1,000 or more. So, make sure you're carrying that much cash on you when you go in. Like I said, it's a great bargaining tool too. If you're going to haggle with somebody over the price of a gun, which you can do at a gun show, which is another reason why they're nice. Um, you can you stand in a much better position if you have cash in hand. Uh, Another common thing that I tell people that are new to gun shows is go with a list. Know what you're looking for. Gun shows can sometimes be really overwhelming. There's just so much stuff. There's so many tables. There's so many people selling so many different kinds of things. There's some guys that are selling vintage militaria. There are some guys that are selling prepping supplies. There are some guys that are selling, cowboy guns and pistol belts and things like that. There's other guys that are selling, tactical stuff. There's other guys that are just selling knives or swords or whatever. Some guys are selling, their book or the Republican Party or whatever. There's just so much stuff going on at a gun show that it can be kind of overwhelming sometimes. And you don't want to lose track of why you're going there. So make yourself a list so that when you get there, you know what you're looking for. And you remember why it is that you came there. And, I find it helps me not to settle for something else. If I have it, a list in front of me saying, okay, I'm looking for this, and I walk around the gun show and, there's that over there and there's that over there, but neither of those that's are this. And that's what I came here for. So, it kind of helps me not waste money on something I don't really want just because you might get excited by the atmosphere. So, come prepared to buy. Have a list of the things that you need and want. Another good one is that I tell people too is don't be frustrated if it's a bust. Sometimes you go to a gun show and you make out like a bandit. There's just tons of good stuff there. There's lots of really great dealers carrying lots of really great stuff, and you make out like a bandit. You just find tons of great deals and you buy a lot of things. The next 4 or 5 times you go to that same gun show, you might not find anything you like, and you just have to be prepared for that. In my experience going to gun shows, I have more disappointing gun shows than positive gun shows. For every gun show that I purchase a couple of old bolt action rifles, I probably have 2 or 3 gun shows where I don't buy anything at all. I pay my $5 to get in, walk around for an hour or so, and then walk back out again. I just haven't found anything I like. So don't be afraid to bust, and don't think of it as a waste. You gotta go, you gotta check it out, you gotta see what's there. It's a gun show. You can't dictate what's going to be there. You can't order anything. You got to take what people bring. So, keep that in mind. Definitely. So, those are a couple of quick little tidbits of advice that I have for people that are new to gun shows. Definitely go to them. They're a lot of fun. There's a lot of people. It's a great way to meet new people. And you find a lot of things that you don't typically see in your store, your local stores, especially used and vintage rifles and handguns and firearms and things like that. So, hit one up. Check them out. They're a lot of fun. Gun show. Take it easy.